What's going on, YouTube? Guys, today I want to talk a little bit about water changes, and I have a video up on water changes, how much, how many, what's right to do, and I wanted to cover a little bit more. Been reading a little bit here on some of the forums with Simply Discus, and some guys still have a lot of questions, and it never seemed to me like there was ever a good answer of why. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. For you guys who are for some of you, this will be old hat as far as understanding who Jack Watley was. For the guys that are new to the hobby or have not heard of Jack Watley. Jack Watley was a pioneer as far as keeping South American tropical fish, and really specialized in discus and ultims. And in his time, he did a whole lot of testing on discus. He was really obsessed with germ counts and toxins and things like that. And in one of his experiments, what he did was he took a batch of fry, okay, and he put one group of fry into a small tank, okay, with no filtration. And in that tank, he did 90% water changes a day. So that's 8 water changes at 90% a piece, and he had no filtration inside of that tank. Now, in this controlled study, he had a second tank, and he took the second batch of fry, well, the half of the first batch of fry. He took that batch, put them into another tank that was a little bit bigger, that had a sponge filter in it, and he did 1 water change at 90% a day. And drum roll, brah. The results of the test were that the discus that were in the smaller tank that were receiving 90% water changes daily had doubled in size. They were both groups were fed the exact same diet. They were kept at the exact same temperature, and they were, of course, fry from the same batch. So that is where we got our initial 90% on the water changes with discus. And while I think that is absolutely admirable for people who can do that, I don't think that for most everyday aquarist hobbyists, it's feasible to do 90% water changes a day. But what Jack Watley, excuse me guys, what Jack Watley had found out and what he had figured out was that by removing any trace of ammonia, toxins, germs, that the discus were able to really be able to meet their full potential as far as growth, size, and of course that's what most discus keepers, what they want, because let's face it, the bigger they get, the more they show their pattern, the more beautiful they are, the more stunning they are. And so this is where you get some of these discus purists out there that really are dogmatic on how much percent water changes they should be doing every day, okay? And really that's really not true. You can keep discus in pretty good health, by just making sure that their tank is clean and that their nitrates are very low. Again, I put up a video on nitrates. I think that nitrates are definitely a telltale sign of things are not okay inside of your tank. But this has already been proven with discus, guys, that the more water changes you do, the more toxins you remove from the tank, the more they grow. Okay, so it's all up to the hobbyist as far as what do you want out of your fish. What is the goal? Do you want to have big and beautiful fish? Then water changes are definitely a part of keeping these guys. And so long as you're keeping them happy and healthy, and hey, I love all discus. Okay, I love them all, and it's well understood that as my powder blue diamond comes up to take a look and check out the camera, guys. Anyways, I think you guys know where I'm going with this. Thanks for watching. I was happy to share this this little story with you, and just remember that a lot of times in the hobby, people do things and they really don't understand why they're doing them. I just wanted to share the origin of discus and water changes. All right, guys, you know what time it is. Comments, please, down below.